Oh my gosh, tiny little baby, and my husband was changing her, and she poop squirted like off of the bed all the way to the wall. And of course, because husband's doing it, then he's like, "What?" You know, I'm like, it doesn't even smell yet. This is baby poop. Like, this is not a big deal.
Yeah, baby poop is not the worst poop.
No.
Hey guys, welcome back to This Mom Life. We are super excited because we're here with my cousin-in-law, Amanda. I don't want to be super formal, like this is my cousin, she's like one of my best friends. She's actually my daughter Piper, her middle name is Amanda after this Amanda, so
I did something right.
We tight.
So we live in Austin, Texas, and I'm married to a wonderful guy named Lee, who is her cousin actually.
Yes.
So I married into the amazing family. We have 4 kids. My oldest is 16, and then she's a girl. I have 3 girls and then a boy. So 16, 13, 10, girl palooza. And then we got a boy at the end. We were so lucky, and he's 8. And we've lived here in Austin for 7 years. I can't even believe it.
Oh my gosh.
And we love it here. We love the culture and the family community and all the opportunities that our kids have, so.
And you got married when you were pretty young?
Yeah, I'm 21.
21, okay.
And had a kid at 22. So 6 months after we were married, we were like, whoa, we're pregnant. Like,
oh my gosh.
We did not try hard enough to not be pregnant.
It's one of those things like, if you're fertile,
watch out! Your life's gonna change.
You never know until you know.
And it was the best thing ever. It was totally what we needed in our life. So it was good for us.
Oh my gosh. Let's get started with our next segment. This is called, what are we gonna call it? Oh yeah, rapid fire, don't be a liar. Okay? So that just means,
I suddenly got nervous.
that just means just some quick questions to get us to know your mom's style a little bit.
Cool.
A little bit more.
Real life.
Okay. And if we want to expound, we can, but we'll try and keep it. We'll try and keep this part quick.
Okay.
Okay. What time do you go to sleep?
10:30.
Every night? Like that's your goal?
We try, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What time do you wake up?
6:30.
What's your go-to breakfast?
Eggs.
Eggs. Almost like how often do you eat that?
4 out of 5.
What else would you eat?
Oatmeal, cold cereal, once or twice a week.
Nice. Favorite kind of family vacation?
Road trip, cousins. My kids would say cousins. They love saying cousins. I love to go to the beach, but
that's fun.
My kids love road trips. They love riding in the car. They love seeing all the stuff. They love talking. Funny. We drive through the night, so a lot of the driving is at nighttime, and so they just like sleep and then wake up and they're like, "Ooh, we're in somewhere new."
Oh, it's like a cruise.
Yeah.
How often do you buy fast food?
Once a month, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
That little?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And you're in like Texas. Isn't there like some good food around here?
Yeah. Yeah, but not like, I mean.
Not fast.
Yeah, not fast food.
Okay. How often do you eat out?
Twice a year.
What? You guys never got to eat?
We do not.
That is so weird to me. I like love eating out. Like I will take my family out.
We just
with
don't
any excuse.
Spend money on that.
Yeah, that's good though. I mean,
spend it other places.
That's like the #1 thing to cut out if you're like trying to like budget better. It's like,
do you know
don't
what?
eat out.
Probably 5 years ago, we did the Dave Ramsey course, and then we taught it a couple times. And helping people go through their budgets and seeing, like a lot of times it was like $1,200 or $1,600 that they could repurpose to something that they actually wanted in life instead of, oh, let's just stop here, I don't want to make dinner.
Yeah.
And so that really helped us to see like, we'll eat healthier and it will help us to spend our money in other places. So seriously, my kids like do not go to Chick-fil-A all the time or even Taco Bell. And
order and pick up, delivery, or store groceries, like walk in the store groceries.
Oh my gosh, I totally pick up or deliver.
Yeah.
And I've made it a goal actually this year to only do that.
Oh really?
Except for when I go to Trader Joe's, but I'm trying to see if I can do an Instacart to get them to deliver. It's just like 20 minutes away. So.
Is it because like time-wise you don't have time for that, or because you like budget better?
Because my time is more valuable than going to the grocery store. And yes, it costs like $5 or $10 to get them to deliver, and you know you put extra stuff in your cart if you're at the store.
Totally.
So
yeah, good call. What's the I just came up with this one like yesterday. What's the grossest thing you've seen as a mom?
when food gets lost places.
Oh,
like
yeah.
just barely, I found an onion back behind the baskets in my pantry, and it was like oozing onto the shelf, and I was like, gross.
Or like when you leave like a baby bottle and it gets like lost behind the crib or something.
Oh my gosh. I forgot about all those things.
Oh my gosh,
yes.
that's the worst. You don't have little kids anymore.
No, I don't.
The onion is the worst thing you can think of, then you're far away from the baby's
Yes.
Okay, last one. What's an unreasonable request you make of your kids? Like, for example, I realized I do this, or I taught my kids how to, when they're done eating, they flip their forks upside down and stick it like, you know, the end down so it doesn't fly off and like spill and fall on the floor and stuff. Because I remember I've trained them this way because it would bother me so bad. Like they'd stick it in and then the fork was heavy or the plate was too small or whatever, and so it always felt like, you guys, flip it upside down. This is how you do it. Watch, this is how you do it.
This is how you do it. And then they're gonna be married someday and they're gonna be like,
yeah,
what are you doing with your fork?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They're like, what are you doing with your fork? They'll be like, this is how you put your fork away.
Yeah, so that's my unreasonable request. Can you think that's kind of like a random one, so I don't know if you can come up with something off the top of your head, but
I don't think this is unreasonable, but maybe some people do. I do not do my kids' laundry. Like,
oh,
they do all their own laundry.
that's awesome. I'm just, when did you start teaching them to do that?
I learned this from your mom, actually.
Oh, I did I did my own laundry probably when I was like 10.
Yeah, so we went over, it was like when we had maybe one baby or something, and we came and stayed at your house while your parents went out of town. And I was like, okay, like, what all do we need to do? Like, when do we need to have breakfast ready and stuff? And your mom was like, you just like be here so that you can give them a ride. And they're like, fine.
That's
and
so funny.
Your mom was like, no, they do their own laundry and stuff. And I was like, yeah, they do, because why shouldn't they?
Yeah, well, we did our own laundry, we made our own lunches. My mom never made our lunches. We got our own breakfast. I mean, she would make yummy breakfasts a lot. Like she would do French toast and pancakes and stuff.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we
got our own breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, got up on our own, showered, got ready, you know, and yeah. And then, I mean, once we were old enough, we drove ourselves. So she didn't have to do that. What does she even do?
She's so lazy.
Okay, guys, that was rapid fire. Don't be a liar. Now we're gonna move on to, okay, I'm trying out this new thing, you guys. The last 2 interviews I haven't been doing this, but I want this to be a little bit more like lively than just sitting and talking. So now we're going to pick up the camera and we're gonna go see what Amanda has in her fridge. What's in your fridge?
Oh my gosh. What is in my fridge? Let's do it. Okay. We're gonna see.
Okay,
So
what do we
need a
got?
new
You guys have a
fridge.
little bit of like, you have intentional eating, you could say.
Yeah, we do. For probably the last 5 years, we've really worked on cleaning out our diet because I have seen changes in my health and I wanted my kids to have that as well. And so while I grew up eating Otter Pops and corn dogs like all summer long, we try to eat different than that. And my fridge is really empty right now because it's like grocery day tomorrow and we eat almost all fresh. And so by the end of the week, our fridge is like empty. At the beginning of the week, it's like stuffed full, and then at the end of the week, it's like crickets because we eat all of our food. So, I mean, we're having Brussels sprouts for dinner tomorrow night, or maybe tonight. It's my 10-year-old's favorite. She loves Brussels sprouts and like bacon or sausage, and you roast, like saute it. We eat a lot of, just eat the easy stuff right now is just apples and oranges.
Is winter hard here with fruit? Because I'm feeling that in Seattle.
Yeah, it totally is. My kids will always eat apples and oranges. Pears are kind of okay on. Like here's leftovers from 2 nights ago and we've just been eating it for lunch. And it's a veggie marsala with lentil pasta. Trader Joe's has a really good red lentil pasta. We eat a lot of eggs for breakfast. Here's some summer sausage from my friend. We don't eat very much meat at all, but this is from her husband hunting and it's veal, so yummy, something different. For our family, just for digestion, so that we don't have bloating and extra mucus, we cut out all dairy. When we moved here, my 8-year-old was like 18 months, and by the time he was 3, he had like 6 months of the year, horrible, puffy eyes, really bad allergies. There's a lot of things that bloom here, and the trees and stuff are like gnarly. So we cut out all dairy and that helped a ton. We cut out gluten for a long time and that helped. We try to eat minimal sugar and we eat like raw sugar or coconut sugar. So we eat almost all gluten-free. Like right now we have tortillas because we have a busy week and one of the nights we're having burritos. So we do that sometimes, but for the most part, we try to eat gluten, dairy, sugar-free as much as we can.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
Lifestyle change. About your freezer. Anything good in there?
We have lots of greens because we make a lot of smoothies. So.
Oh, you can just throw those spinach like right in the freezer?
Yes, totally.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I always do that. Like if they're almost to the point where they're
I didn't know that.
bad, then I just stick them in the
Yeah, because
freezer.
spinach goes bad so fast.
Yeah.
Which I guess is good. That means it's like fresh and whatever.
Stick it in the freezer.
I did not know that.
These are my favorite. Actually, I'm like really talking about Trader Joe's today, but their pot stickers are so yummy.
I need to do more Trader Joe's. Everyone does it. Like all of my girlfriends in Seattle, they're all about Trader Joe's. Way to go. And that's your fridge. Now we're gonna do another segment. I don't know what we're gonna call it, but I wanted to see your 3 favorite places in your house. And they moved here pretty recently, so it's not like you've lived here forever and you've spent so much time in these places, but yeah.
Come on in to my shower.
Wow, look at your bathroom. Holy cow, this is an awesome bathroom.
It's really clean too.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Someday I'll have a big bathroom. Someday.
When we were shopping for houses, our house sold really fast. In 3 days, our house sold, and we're like, oh crap, we don't even know where we're moving yet. But we knew kind of the area that we wanted to move for the kids, that my kids would be able to hang out and play with. So this one was a spec and already built. And it's funny because some of the things you like don't know that you want, but then when you get it, then you're all, oh my gosh, this is my favorite thing.
How did we ever live without
this? And so when we first moved in, we felt like our bathroom was like luxurious spa because you like walk into my bathroom. It doesn't. My shower doesn't even have
a door.
Yeah, a door
curtain
or anything because it's so ginormous and it has a window. And I actually
a window. That's the thing.
Yeah, I actually we stayed in a VRBO.
So fancy.
And
got a little ledge.
Yeah, it had a window in it, and I was like, oh my gosh, taking a shower with the window open so you can feel the breeze, like this is amazing. So when we saw this, I was like, yep.
Favorite spot.
Favorite spot. So that's one of my favorite spots because I love to just like be still and quiet and do a lot of thinking when I take a shower. So that's one of my favorite spots. This is my office.
The husband.
So if you really want to see this.
This is your office?
This is my office. So I work from home and my kids are home like all summer long and sometimes at nighttime I'll do videos or trainings where I need to just have it be quiet. So as we were living this house, we were like, where are we gonna put an office that can be like out of the way? And so we decided to just like carve out this nook.
Yeah.
And it's the reason that I love this space is because this is where I get out of my comfort zone and like my brain knows that when I come here, it's a challenge and it's growing. And so it actually feels good to me. Like I love coming to the space, even though it's like work and hard sometimes. It's like, but you're doing good things.
Something
and
good
it's like
is
rewarding.
Yeah.
So he's working from home today.
I take it over sometimes when I work from home.
Yeah, so he's here using the space, but for the most part, like I have my vision board and I have lots of good quotes and things all about my purpose and why I do what I do. So. It's not the cutest, but there is some dark chocolate right here that I reach while I'm working, and all my inspiring things.
No, it's super cool, and like you have that light up there, so it's well lit, and like as far as closet, I mean, I've seen a couple different closet offices, and this one's a pretty good size.
Who knew? We'd show you our closet.
You didn't.
Good thing I was dressed.
When we moved into this house, I loved this island because all after school I make dinner because it takes a while to make, right? And that's one of the things that I love creating into my day is me cooking and kids sitting here doing homework or just talking to me, or even if they're like watching a show on their phone, we're just like together. And as my kids are getting older, I'm realizing it's kind of a selfish thing that I love to just like always have my like chicks under my wings, but it's a good time for them to have those memories. So they help make dinner a lot too. So this is kind of like our gathering place in the afternoon, and we just hang out together and we love each other.
Okay, well, I was feeling really good after that whole segment, and then I forgot to press record on this one, so we're just kind of doing this for a second time, you guys. So you guys don't care because you didn't miss it.
It was pretty good.
It was fun. It was really good. That was such a fun little segment. I think it's a lot better than my previous videos, just because I feel like it's given us a chance to really get a taste for real life. Sometimes I feel like the content we have on Instagram or Pinterest is super curated and photoshopped and things like that, and edited, and I loved getting, wasn't that so great? I loved getting to just see your guys's, your little office and everything. She didn't know I was gonna be really doing this, and so it's not like she went around scrubbing everything, so.
And to be fair, because my kids are older, our house is cleaner than it used to be. Like, when you have little kids, it's always a mess. And I forget that until I go over to my sister's house and I'm like, your house is so messy, and I'm like, oh yeah, because you seriously have a tornado going through your house the whole day long.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I'm walking around barefoot. I'm like, I never walk around barefoot anymore in my house because there's crumbs everywhere.
All the time.
And we don't have a dog. That's the main reason I want a dog. Anyway, thanks so much for showing us that. We're now going to be getting into a little bit more of, I don't know, not like serious talk, but some deep stuff. Just tell us a little bit about how you feel about your motherhood and,
Yeah.
I don't know how to phrase it, but you know what I mean.
How I am. Yeah. So some things about me and motherhood and how I see it. I do feel like, and maybe this is so cliche and I'm just hitting this age, so I'm starting to realize it, but like in your 20s, for me, I had little kids and I was like making everything so special. Like, you know, on Valentine's Day, we had heart-shaped pancakes and pink dyed bread for their sandwich, like all the things, right?
Oh my gosh.
And it was like over the top because it's hard to always do all of it and have more life than that, you know? Once I hit my 30s and I had my 4th kid, I was like just trying to get a grip on life and make sure that we had clean underwear. And so it helped me to realize that it's okay for kids to have experiences in life where you have to wear the same shirt 2 days in a row, which for us, we wear uniforms to school. So that's like, they're not wearing the same like Nike shirt that looks exactly the same.
Right.
All their shirts look the same. So nobody notices. And like, it's okay. It's okay if you have to just have a silly lunch that day because nobody had time to make it very good. Or something that I try to be as a mom is just really open and approachable and honest with everything.
Yeah, and I can already tell, I mean, from how your kids are turning out already, that you are super good at that. I mean, you were talking about how your daughter, like when she started her period and stuff, how she was like super open about it.
Yes.
So like when I was that age, I was like, forget it, I'm not talking about this.
Well, and so our first 3 kids are girls, right? So my husband has just been like in girl house, right? And my second daughter, when she started her period, I was out of town, like out of the country, out of town. And so she totally had to like tell sister and tell dad, and she was fine with it. Like she was just like, oh my gosh, dad, listen. And he just helped her get her stuff and like it was fine.
And how do you guys do that? Like how do you make that type of a culture in your family, like so open?
Because I talk about my body and self out loud and more and just normal so that they know that it's normal. And
do you try to make it like good self-talk? And because I mean everyone has body issues and things, but do you try to keep, do you like intentionally keep those like way pushed down? Or
I know sometimes I'll say things will slip, or you know, I'm like, oh, I need to exercise more, or like, whoa, hold it on the treats, you know. Something I feel like a lot of times in life, the things that I need come to me. Like when I was trying to figure out what schools to put my kids in, I was sitting at the park with these friends and they started telling me about this one school that was totally where my kids were supposed to go, and they got into the school and it was the right thing. And same thing with the talk, right? Like the talk with kids. And so when they're 8 years old, for like 6 months before they turn 8, we tell them, when you turn 8, we are gonna do something so special. Just you and me and dad are gonna go on a date. And we are gonna go to dinner and talk about the most wonderful thing in the world.
Oh my gosh.
And they're like, what's the most wonderful thing in the world? And we tell them it's like so special and it's gonna be a really great time and it's something that is just the most wonderful thing in the world. And then we tell them all about sex, and their little 8-year-old brain like soaks in some of it, but they're young enough that you can just be like, isn't it amazing like how all the animals are created on the earth, and how, and then we just go through like hummingbirds to koala bears to humans, and they all have this same thing that they do. And like they're not grossed out because they're not old enough to be like, that's so weird, you know. They don't have like the body image,
they're still just like learning
awareness
that things are a thing.
Yeah, and they're not embarrassed like, oh my gosh, you're my mom and dad. And I feel like at 8 years old, you can catch it before they're at recess and somebody's like, and then I told them the wrong thing, or they created the wrong emotion around it. So that was like what I feel like started.
That is so great.
How we just like talk about all of it. So my 16 and 13-year-old, like we talk about like, would you guys please leave us alone? We want to go be in our room and have alone time. And we're like, alone time. And they're like, Mom, you're so weird. And we're like, hey, listen, you have friends whose parents are getting divorced. Guess what? If mom and dad don't have dates or getaways or time alone in their room, like, you know that you have to work on a relationship. So we're just super honest with all of it so that they know, like, mom and dad don't always agree on stuff. Mom and dad need alone time. Like, we're working on our friendship and our relationship.
And you don't like dance around it. You don't.
Yeah. So we just talk about all of it, and tampons and everything. It's just, I think that just the things that help the most are focusing on the positive, addressing that and talking about it, and making sure that you're having enough quality time. So again, we are not perfect at it, but we try to either have a date with them or say, hey, come ride with me in the car when I go do this, and then you just like let them talk. And you're like, I don't even care about Zelda, but yeah, ooh, that sounds cool. Like, you know, just so that they know, like, hey, I want to hear about your things, because if you don't do it at a young age, then later they're not going to.
They're not even gonna give you a chance. Outside of being a mom, how do you take care of yourself, and how do you get, you know, your energy out and your creativity out? Because I know you have a job, so tell us a little bit about that part of your life.
Yeah, so ever since my kids were little, I always loved to be doing things, right? Like, there's all different kinds of moms, but for me, my brain has to always be going, and so I would always have a side project. And so when I had 2 little kids, I learned how to do photo, and I was a wedding photographer and worked with a girl in her company, another cousin. Worked with her for a while. And it just helped me to realize that I do better if I have outlet. And when I was 24, then my mom and my brother had cancer. Like within a month, they were diagnosed of each other. And then 18 months later, one of them passed away, and then 9 months later, the other one passed away. And my dad had already had cancer too. So
I didn't know that.
There's a lot of cancer in my family. Like, that's how my grandparents died on that side and stuff. So I got a little nervous about cancer, and I, with 2 little kids, just wanted to be proactive and like control as many things as I could to be a better opportunity for us to not have, you know, health problems like that. And so I started by detoxing my house, and the first thing I did was learn how to make my own laundry soap and Windex. And I like read online that Windex can be vinegar and water, and it's the same dang thing for none of the price.
And some blue food coloring.
Right. I learned that once you start taking care of your body better, then it helps you to take care of your mind better. And as we cultivate a better mindset and control thoughts and, you know, better direct them towards gratitude and positivity and self-discipline, that really is the gateway to freedom. So when a friend showed me essential oils and how they worked, then I was interested, totally skeptical at first, because I was like, this is so weird, you know. But it worked for me, and so I was interested and wanted to keep learning more. And as I learned more, then I just realized that plants have their own medicinal properties to them, and I love it because people can be skeptical, but what works, and it's just...
Well, and that's interesting because obviously I know you, and I know you've been in doTERRA for so long, but for you, it's based off of the cancer situation and how so many things, like apparently so many things that are in our culture and in our lifestyles is aiding the cancer. And so that's, you know, it's like a survival. You know, you're trying to figure out how to survive. And that's where you found the essential oils.
Yes, and just as I read and study that, you know, there's some foods that we totally never ever bring into our household, and probably my kids don't even realize that that's like weird or not normal because it's just what we do. But later when they grow up, I'm sure they'll talk and be like, why was our mom like that? And then they'll learn I was just trying to help them have like the healthiest body ever. That has been such a blessing in my life though, because starting where I was taking time for myself and I was like scheduling my day where I said, okay, well, kids get home at this time and there's all this going on, so what am I going to work on when they're gone? Because I started working in my home with a doTERRA business when my youngest was in preschool, so I only had like 2 days for a couple of hours that I would work. The hugest return that I got was better mental health. I do a lot of mentoring, and personal development is really what I do. So anybody that is in any kind of business for a while, I feel like if it's like health and wellness or a business that you own, you realize you have to help people elevate themselves and learn how to love their job, get more out of life, and find happiness. And happiness is joy, right? And so even if you're like eating bean burritos every night because you have no money, or really struggling through something in your marriage or whatever, you like can still have joy because you're taking care of yourself and making time for yourself. But it's the change in our minds so that we understand that you can have whatever you want in life if you focus on it and you feed yourself. So the first time we ever went to a personal development thing was in Vegas, and it was going to see Tony Robbins. And I remember our tickets for the event were $700. Then we had to fly there and find a hotel room and somebody to watch our kids and stuff.
Yeah.
And like a couple days after I bought the tickets from my friend, I called him back and I was like, couldn't we get our money back? Like, I don't think we can do this. Because $700 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it was worth more than all of the money that we paid to fly there and the hotel and everything, because the more you feed your brain and clean out any of the negative self-talk and the stories that we tell ourselves, the more space we create for what we actually want in life. Kind of like earlier when I was talking about we don't eat out very much because we want to use that money for something else.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. If you're filling your brain with all these thoughts of like, oh, this is just how it is, I can't afford that, or that's not how it works, you know, like nothing ever works out for me, or she's thinking this about me, then that's what you're going to create. That's the space that you're filling. So
that is so wild. And because you see so many of these things, there's so many conferences and like people coming, like touring around and talking, and it's like, what are these things that people are going to where they're just like being like, I can make my own motivation, you know? But you guys thought this one was just super, and I'm sure not only the speakers are like super motivational and like smart and help you, but just being able to get out and to feed yourself.
Yeah, it was the first time that we went and we were away from kids and away from our daily household stuff, where you really sat and like thought about, what do I want from life, and what am I creating in life, and what does that look like?
Yeah, and it wasn't just like a vacation where you're going and having fun. It was like actually, and I feel like this is a big problem that I wanted to address with this series is like, as moms, we're not a part of some business or you know, an office where they have these things built in, where they have like lunch and learns, where people come and teach you how to do this new program that just came out and feed you, like literally feed you.
Yeah.
As parents, as stay-at-home parents, you just like, we forget to learn how to do this thing, see what people have researched and understood. Like, I mean, we can get so many things online, but you know, being able to go and train in a certain area is like super, super helpful. And obviously it's so expensive, but
I think podcasts are amazing because there are so many out there with all different personality types that you can find the people that are at the level of knowledge that you are taking in right now and are your same kind of personality, or, you know, that you get along with. And I have just seen that where, you know, a friend will be like, oh my gosh, you have to listen to this podcast. It is so good. Like, it's like blowing my mind right now.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to it and I'm like, was that the right one? Like, yeah. And it just wasn't what I was needing at that time. And so,
yeah, I agree too. Like, we were talking about Awesome with Allison, and you're like, not my favorite, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's my favorite because she like feeds me in a way that I need, and like it gives me the energy that I need in my life right now, you know. And so, and that's, I feel like this is a really, podcasts are super great right now because you can do them as a mom. They're super easy to listen to when you're doing whatever. And then everyone's kind of talking about, you know, the 5 people that you spend the most time with. That's who you know, affects you the most. I'm like, I don't spend any time with anybody. Like, I see my husband, I see my 4 kids, I see some people at church on Sunday, but I don't spend time with them. And so it's like, you know, podcasts could be a way to spend time with people.
I definitely think it's such a valuable thing to show your kids that, like, it's important to take time for yourself and to do things that you enjoy doing, and to also have something that is stretching you, whether it's like getting your body in shape and doing the workout that you hate, or learning a new skill, or reaching out and making new friends that are a different group than you is your comfort zone, just so they can see that you are developing yourself, and that's just what life is like.
Yeah, it's just, it's like constant. You can't just like stop progressing. That's so great. Thank you so much, and I'm super proud of you. Super proud of you. She's just like come so far from starting doTERRA, and I mean, you can say whatever you want about essential oils and doTERRA as a company or a business plan or whatever you want to say, but like, it's good for you.
For me,
serving you.
For me, it has been amazing.
And yeah. Okay, last little segment we'll do, and this is probably a really long video, but I have to do this one because I love this one. It's I'm trying to call it I'm Killing It and It's Killing Me. So what kind of a mom skill are you really, really good at? Like, what have you found like you just get no problem, and on the other hand, what do you just hate to do all the time and will never love it?
What mom skill am I killing it at? Oh, I know. Sweeping my floors, because I got a Roomba. And it does it for me, because seriously, I'm killing it on that one. It's in the pantry. We just seriously say, Alexa, turn on Rosie. And then she's gonna turn on Rosie, and then my vacuum starts. It's like the best thing ever, ever. I think
so fancy.
I think
you
Alexa
have to in this house. Like, there's way too many floors to do it yourself. Oh my gosh, killing it. Smarter, not harder.
That's right.
Okay, and then what's killing you?
Schedule, time blocking. Like, I have to recommit every single week to time block. Because
your days, you mean? Like,
yes,
this is what
like
I'm
what's
doing now,
going
this is what
on.
we're
Yes,
doing now.
and some of it I can't control, because like yesterday we were like, okay, they have basketball and they have that, and she needs a ride to this, and don't forget about. And it was just like, I need an Uber driver for each kid, because
you need a Roomba for your kids.
Seriously,
Someday.
But it's not my natural thing. Like, I see how much better my life runs when I organize myself better at the beginning of the week and we look at all the schedule, and then I figure out even in my work time like what I'm doing for each thing. And so I love it when I do it because it helps me a ton, but
Yeah, it kills you.
it kills me.
Yeah.
I will also say what I'm killing it at is dishes, because we totally have a chart where it just goes through and everybody has a day. And if it's like 9 o'clock at night and you haven't done
My kids
them,
are probably old enough now. I just need to like teach them how to do it.
it's the best.
I hate dishes so much.
I know. There's always dishes.
Yeah.
And because we eat at home all the time, like there's always pots and pans. And
I get
all the
going on
things.
like the paper plate train, and I'm just like, paper plates again, no dishes.
I know. In the summer, I'll do paper plates more, but I try not to.
Totally, I know. Okay, that's it. Okay, guys, I think she's so great. You're such a good mom. I just want you to know.
Oh, thanks.
You're doing so good. We love Amanda so much. She's the best. She's just killing it as a mom, and which really, if you're killing it, like to be killing it as a mom, I feel like you just have to like survive each day, and hopefully your kids feel loved.
And totally be okay with the days that you stay in your pajamas or yoga pants and
Yeah.
don't even
Totally.
do anything.
Okay, we're gonna hug it out now.
Yay! Oh, thanks for coming to visit.
Yeah. Now we're gonna go get some Texas food because
good
this is my
things.
first time here, so we're gonna go do that. But guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. I enjoyed it, and so I'm winning because I enjoyed it. But make sure you do all the things. You follow us. You share this if you want to. Check me out on Instagram at DoTERRA, and we'll see you next time. Bye.